We got 2 books left, and they're by Joel Augustus Rogers. We read some of his work earlier when we were dealing with the Moors, but now I want to show you a little bit about him before we read these last 2 books. And Joel Augustus Rogers, so when he was born, when he died, he was a Jamaican American author, journalist, and historian who focused on the history of Africa as well as the African diaspora. Okay. He's written a lot of books, more than I thought before I actually looked him up. But let's see. Rogers was a meticulous researcher, astute scholar, and concise writer. He traveled tirelessly on his quest for knowledge, which often took him directly to the source. While traveling in Europe, Spain, Portugal, he frequented libraries, museums, and castles, finding sources that helped him document African ancestry and history. Quote unquote African, because not all black people are African. He challenged the biased viewpoint of Eurocentric historians and anthropologists. And lastly, I want to show you some of his credentials. Rogers was a member of professional associations, including the Paris Society of Anthropology, the American Geographical Society, the American Association for the Advancement of Science, and the Academy of Political Science. So this dude wasn't no pseudo scholar, you know. He was a part of European organizations, European professional organizations. Pretty sure if he was putting out false information, he would have not been included in these organizations. They would have not reached out to him and tried to get him to join them. I don't know if they reached out to him or if he, applied. But, they don't just let anybody in organizations like this. He was in the American Geographical Society as well, the American Association for the Advancement of Science, and the Academy of Political Science. You have to be somebody to be a part of organizations like this. And these are all the books he's written. We've only gotten into 2 of them in this presentation. But anyways, let's open it up. This book is called 100 Amazing Facts About the Negro with Complete Proof, a Shortcut to the World History of the Negro by Joel Augustus Rogers, published in 1985. We are on page 42. I'm going to get straight to the point. The Pules, or Negro Jews of West Africa, have so-called Semitic profiles. In France, Spain, and Portugal, remember, he saw these things firsthand, eyewitness information. It said he traveled to these locations in Europe, so he's not just making it up. In France, Spain, and Portugal, there are Negroid Jews with woolly hair. The Portuguese Jews, who are the aristocrats of Jewry, show considerable Negroid strain. All right. So there you go, Andre. It is not saying the Jews are Negroes. Yeah, it is. And the last and final book is also by Joel Augustus Rogers, Nature Knows No Color Line. We looked in this one earlier. By J.A. Rogers, Joel Augustus Rogers, published in 1952. We're on page 63. And if we go up here to page 62, it says Spain and Portugal at the top. So we know the location we're talking about. Right now we're going to be on page 63. I'm going to get straight to the point again. Flournoy rightly says of Moorish royalty, especially the aristocracy and the royal family had Negro blood in their veins. The Jews also brought in much Negro strain. Some of the noblest of the Sephardic families, aristocrats of Jewry, were Negroes. And then he goes on to mention some notable Sephardic Jews who had the last name Negro.